مرحبا. كيف حالك؟ ما اسمك؟ من أين أنت? Or من أين أنت? Can you answer those questions? If not, you may want to review. If you can, that's good. Welcome to lesson 2. And what we're going to do now is look at two verbs as a way of learning about the structure of Arabic, particularly the way that verbs work. So I'm putting past, present, and future on here. I just can't get the F and the S key to work. There we go. All right, finally. So past, present, and future, like a timeline. I call this a verb timeline. And we're just going to use two verbs just to illuminate this. أتكلم means I speak. And I'm going to add أدرس, which means I study. Now, if you're a complete beginner, if you haven't seen this type of thing before, I want to point out to you that it's the a of both verbs that make it I. You know, because if, remember, there was the ta that made it you. So, أتكلم, تتكلم, and so. But we're just going to concentrate on first person in this video, because I want to show you past, present, and future, and even something else. So, أتكلم, okay? Now, don't just stop there. Use it in a sentence, you know, because at the end of the day, what matters is the use, the practice of the language, the conversation, you know. So, أتكلم عربي, أتكلم إنجليزي, أتكلم إسباني, أتكلم فرنسي. You know, you're building, you're creating sentences on your own. So, أتكلم, أدرس means I study. So you could say أدرس عربي, أدرس إنجليزي, أدرس إسباني. Or لا, remember we put لا أتكلم, so لا أدرس. I don't study Arabic. لا أدرس عربي, لا أدرس إنجليزي. Right? It's growing. So that's that. Future, here's what you do. You bring أتكلم. Just pull it over, and you add sa in front of it, and that's all. That's all you have to do, and you've got the future. It's very easy to do. So, I will speak Arabic. سأتكلم عربي. Very common to say inshallah. Inshallah is God willing. It's very, very, very common no matter what religion or no religion. People just, in Arabic, they use inshallah when saying something about the future, okay? So, سأتكلم عربي, inshallah. Now, if you can do that, then you can do this. So it's like an analogy. أتكلم is to سأتكلم, as أدرس is to. All right, so just bring the أدرس over. Add the sa for سأدرس. So what are you going to do today? Oh, I'm going to study Arabic, God willing. سأدرس عربي إن شاء الله. See how that works? Now, I want to point this out. I'm going to do this all at once, just once and for all. Not once and for all. We'll do it more later too, but just all at once here at the beginning. Lesson 2 for you. This whole line is called simple present, future, you know. There's also a continuous, but only in the past tense. Okay, so so let me explain. So here's what you bring أتكلم over here again, and what we're going for with continuous past is going to be I was speaking, or even I used to speak. So it's like a continuous or a habitual, just that sort of past tense. We'll just call it continuous past tense. So you bring أتكلم over, and here's what you do. You put كنت on there. Now, kuntu literally by itself means I was. So I speak. Sounds weird in that way, of course, but that's literally word for word what it means. But at the end of it means I was speaking, or also I used to speak. So how do you say I was speaking Arabic? You'd say كنت أتكلم عربي, right? So what language were you speaking with that person earlier when I heard you talking? You say, I was speaking Arabic. كنت أتكلم عربي. No, I was speaking English. كنت أتكلم إنجليزي. Right? Last time you were on the last person you talked to, what language were you speaking? And you'll say, كنت أتكلم إسباني. كنت أتكلم إنجليزي. Okay? So yeah. Again, analogy. أتكلم is to كنت أتكلم, as أدرس is to, right? Remember that analogy ideas. كنت أدرس. What were you studying? or what did you used to study? You know, I used to study Spanish. كنت أدرس إسباني. كنت أدرس إسباني, but I study Arabic now. أدرس عربي الآن. الآن means now. الآن, okay? Okay, how about this? ولكن okay, ولكن is but. ولكن, okay? So how about this? I used to study Spanish, but I study Arabic now. You can say that in Arabic now. Say كنت أدرس إسباني ولكن أدرس عربي الآن. All right? So we've only been at this for 30 minutes. But imagine being a second-day Arabic speaker, lesson 2 Arabic learner, and already able to say كنت أدرس إسباني ولكن أدرس عربي الآن. Normally it would take 3 years before a teacher would allow you to say something like that. No one would teach you that. You'd still be on counting to 3. So anyway, I'm just saying you can do a lot quickly if we'll just allow ourselves some imagination, some past, present, future all at once. Simple and continuous. Okay. And that's that. So look, present, future, and past are all variations on أتكلم. So أتكلم, سأتكلم, كنت أتكلم. We have one space missing. Now, this is the one space, simple past. That's, simple past. I spoke Arabic today. I studied Arabic today, right? That's the simple past. That's where it's something changes a bit. Let me show you. So تكلمت. It's basically so see how we have تكلم. You're basically taking the verb here and then adding to on the end down, right? So every other space is a variation on the present, right? أتكلم, سأتكلم, كنت أتكلم. It's the simple past where things are a bit different, and so we add the to. darastu. Darastu. And later on we'll see second person for you, and we'll see all that stuff. But just for now, I just want to get the ball rolling this way, okay? So just take that as it is for now, without thinking about it too much, other than just noticing that there's the to ending, right? So I spoke Arabic today is اليوم. Y-O-M is today. I spoke Arabic today. Of course, you could just write this down. You don't have to always, so you don't have to keep bouncing around and looking for the word. Try to commit it to memory, even better. So, تكلمت عربي اليوم. Right? Did you speak Arabic today? If so, say نعم. نعم. تكلمت عربي اليوم. Did you study Arabic today? If so, say نعم. درست عربي اليوم. You know. So that's that. It's like a map of the Arabic verb, and there's nothing else. There's nothing to put here, nothing to put there. It's just these four sort of tenses or tenses and aspects. That's called, you know. Before we go, I want to point out that in the same way that verbs are, it's good to put them on a timeline. Adverbs as well are good on a timeline. So let me show you like this. Like اليوم is today, and أمس is yesterday, and غدا is tomorrow. All right, so you just have to memorize those words. You have to learn them. But once you've got them, notice that you can make all of these pairings, these combinations between your verb timeline and adverb timeline, right? So I'm going to study Arabic today. سأدرس عربي اليوم إن شاء الله. I will speak Arabic tomorrow. سأتكلم عربي غدا. I studied Arabic today. درست عربي اليوم. I studied Arabic yesterday. درست عربي أمس. Okay, so it's up to you to make these combinations. Like you mix and match and you say the things you want to say. I used to study Espani. كنت أدرس إسباني. ولكن أدرس عربي الآن. And you've already got a somewhat complex, you know, expressing a somewhat complex thought in multiple tenses. And yeah, it's all just being generated. It's just being generated from the pattern, from the verb matrix that we've developed here. Yeah, so mixing and matching, practice writing, answer questions, ask questions, and answer questions in writing. Write dialogues for yourself. I can't emphasize this. I can't do that part for you. It's up to, I can just show you the generator, show you the patterns, help try to encourage. But it's up to you to use the language, to practice thinking in the language, remembering the words, using the words to express thoughts in writing, in speaking with real people, and so on and so forth. So review, practice, create, play. And we'll continue to build this process of conversation and patterns in the next video.